Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Jake, or TSD. I've never actually tried to label myself. I don't usually make a lot of YouTube videos, so this is a little awkward for me. Not awkward, but Jake or TSD, TitanStarDragon, whatever. But this video, I wanted to make a little tier list. Not tier list. God, I'm already screwing up. This is why I should have made a script. I apologize. But kind of like a wish list or like prediction for Tekken 8 or Tekken Tag 2, Tekken Tag 3, which I think could also be likely, but I think Tekken 8 has been the thing that's been not confirmed, but just, seems to be more likely. And I have this here. Let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna maybe like put some music over this too, so it's not just my voice. I don't know if I'm gonna need to edit it much, but not really much to this video. So what we got here is some pretty obvious tiers. We got story, must stay to kind of like make it a Tekken game. Could stay is like there's opinion in this. Obviously, I'm gonna express my opinion a little bit. But I think I've been playing since Tekken 6, which I know isn't a long time, but that was like my first Tekken game back in 2009, I think it was. I know something about Tekken, and it's the game that I'm most competitive in terms of like esports or competitive. If I were to like get into an esport, it would be Tekken. And I've watched like plenty of like fighting game esports, and I'd say I know a thing or two about Tekken. But if you're in the comments or just whatever, just feel free to let me know if you have anything different. But like the title says, this is from obviously my opinion. Strongly, but I want to kind of take this in terms of like casual, competitive, and story, and like not really like kind of like a three-way tie for that, or like kind of in account for like all three of those. So starting off, oh, there's more tiers. Why are they not showing them? Edit that out. The tier lists weren't behaving properly. This isn't even all of them, but like, I'll work with this. So basically, I'd say let's get the easy ones out of here. All the 2D characters. I'm gonna have to like really consolidate these because I had like different tiers and they were like pretty good. One of the tiers was like 2D characters, so let me grab all of them. Is this all the characters? Yeah, this is all the characters. Should be. I apologize, this is... Can you tell how often I do fighting, or videos? Okay, where's Geese? There's Geese. Where's Noctis? There's Noctis. Where is Elisa? There's Elisa. Where's other characters that fit in? I'll find them later. The 2D characters, they're an anomaly. I don't know. I wasn't asking for them. I really wasn't. Like, I'm just like, dude, Akuma, like, who was asking for this? I don't know. I know Harada is like, buddy with Yoshinori Ono, the guy who is Street Fighter, but he stepped down from Street Fighter, Yoshinoro Ono, and Harada stepped down too. Like, I think Michael Murray is kind of the grand poobah now. So I don't know. And I've heard nothing but complaints about the 2D characters. And I've seen some bullshit myself, and I hate playing against them online. I think they're just brain dead and stupid. So I don't think they really fit. So I wouldn't say it's no necessarily, like, because I know that they're all, most of the characters are interconnected by story somehow. Like, Heihachi, or Akuma was hired to kill Heihachi by Kazumi. Geese is in the same kind of boat. Noctis knows Lars, and then Elisa has something to do with Lily, I think. So I'm gonna just put them as other, just because they're kind of their own thing. Also, sorry about the images, by the way. I couldn't find like very good PNGs. This next tier, I'm gonna call it, so this is like fan service, and bonus characters, and clones too, and I would say that this is kind of like the Tekken Tag category. as in like they could be you know, like that expanded, like these could be characters that could be like just part of Tekken Tag 3 if that is the next game and not Tekken 8, but they're basically, you know, just like the clones and like the extra characters. So let's just grab all those real quick. Sebastian. Angel is just Devil Jin as Angel. Sebastian is just male Lily, basically. Baek Dusong. I know some of these characters are like, I don't know. I might end up moving these around. And I know that, you know, we can kind of like go. I don't know if I'm going to need to do like, you know, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I need to do that, but I will if I have to. Or if I feel I need to. Tiger is just another capoeira. Again, I apologize about the about the image. Alex is a clone of Roger Jr. Prototype Jack is a clone of what is it? Jack. Gigas is kind of sort of like a budget version of what the hell is it? Marduk. Who else we got? There's some clone characters that we need to talk about. Yeah, I'm already seeing them. Let's see, what else? What else? I have 2 Akumas. Okay, I can't. Alright. Just ignore that. Forrest is just martial law. Slim Bob is just Bob. Miharu is just Xiaoyu. And then Violet. I don't know what the story is with Violet. Violet is just Lee. Christy is just Eddie. Master Raven. Master Raven is just Raven. Like, I mean, Panda is just Kuma. Alright, again, I know I'm gonna need to edit this stuff. So, story. So, these characters, they're all like just clones. They're either a legit clone or small changes to like properties or whatever. It's just, I don't know, it's not dumb, it's kind of cool, but it's just like, you know, you're just kind of, you're fluffing. It's just like, it's like if you're writing an essay, who's just like, he went to the thing. You know, the sentence is, he went to the thing. It was just like, okay, I need to add more words. He trotted over to the thing with confidence, and you know, like it was a stormy, and it was 73 degrees, and you know, he saw an elephant over there. It's just like, you already have, like, no, you don't need to. So let's get another one, and I'll explain these more, like, as you know, once I get everything up. Let's see what else we got. Story. Let's do story. So story. It's got to be Jin. So as far as I know, and I played Tekken 7 and Tekken 6, and I know the story for the most part. Like on a not just a surface level, but just like kind of a deep-ish level. So you know, I think I kind of know what's going on. But I'm pretty sure the story is gonna be like Jin, and I think the Devil Gene is gonna be. Well, that's what it normally is, but I think that's going to kind of be at the forefront of it, because that's how it ends, basically. Lars is part of the Mishima, whatever. Let's see, Kazuya, obviously. They might even pull like a thing, like a Kazuya or like a Tekken 4 thing where like Jin isn't in, or like Kazuya isn't there and there. It's just like, oh, Jin isn't there or something. Who else? Heihachi, obviously. So, well, actually, I'm gonna leave Heihachi, and I'll explain in a little bit. That Akuma is gonna confuse me. Yeah, that's. Is there more people I can put up there? Oh yeah, Elisa can go up there too, because it kind of ended off like that. Let me put those. That's more. That's a good picture of Kaguya. I promise the next tier list I do will be better. So, yeah. I'm looking at the roster. I need to put Akuma. Let me just put him like last so I'm not looking at him. Okay, I'm gonna put Heihachi up here just for story, but so the thing, and here I'll just kind of segue because this is kind of be all over the place. The thing with Heihachi is that he's legit dead. Legitimately dead. Like, so I'm actually gonna put him as like unsure. I kind of want to have him be like DLC, but again, I think they could pull that thing of like, you know, Tekken 4, Tekken 3, where they didn't have Kazuya in it. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, you're not gonna have like a main character in there? Like, how is that possible? You know, like, I don't understand. Yeah, I think they can do that, but I think at the same time it could be DLC, like come later or whatever, or he's just kind of like still there. I think I saw something about how he could be like a robot, and I mean, Tekken's goofy as hell, so they could. So that's story, at least as far as I know. Let's do the characters that make Tekken. I would say you need, as much as I hate, I'm trying to put aside my, like, you know, biases against the character. Like, I fucking hate How Wrong, but like, you know, you kind of need to have a game with them. You need Lee. Actually, Lee is probably part of the story, because Lee is like part of the Boskanovic, like, built Elisa, whatever. You need Yoshimitsu. You need Yoshimitsu. I was gonna put him in like the other, or like the fan service bonus tier, but Yoshimitsu has been in like every single Tekken, so I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has. I don't know. Did he originate from this game or from Soul Calibur? Somebody answer me that, because I know that he's like pretty big in both of those games, but like I still don't know like which one he kind of like has more weight in. We need I'm gonna rename this. I can't do it from here, but this should be like basically like the Tekken tag, or like kind of a wild card one. But you need Kuma. You need a goofy Kuma. You need to have, what is it? I heard just like, oh yeah, Tekken, that game where you can play as a fucking bear. And at the same time, you need to be able to play as Roger Jr. as the kangaroo. He is so much fun. She is so much fun. Roger Jr. is the little kangaroo, if you didn't know, and Roger is the big kangaroo. Is a girl. I don't know what the whole, you know, whatever was on that. I'd say Mokujin could be like DLC, because Mokujin is just literally every round that you spawn in, or like every single round. So like you could be a different character with Mokujin, like if you have like, you know, the best of 5 rounds, and it's like, that's kind of cool to me. And it's funny, like playing back at the old games, because I played them, and actually I think I'm gonna go play them, not right now, but like just in general. If you're like Devil Jin, it has like wings. If you're like Yoshimitsu, it has like a sword. It's, you know, just that little charm. I'm gonna say for Asuka, I'm gonna say could say, because she is actually related to Jin, but I looked it up and there's like no, it says just like, oh, it's just related to Jin. So unless it's part of the story, or if it's like some side story, I think that could be part of it. You know, there's that. I'm just trying to look at the ones. I mean, and I'm trying not to make my opinion be too strong. I'm trying to go like off of like logical kind of thing. And again, that whole casual, competitive, and story idea. Generally with games, you want to lean towards casual and story, because competitive, I wouldn't say, I think more games now do it, but like I think some games that like were established before the word competitive really meant anything for video games, just in terms of like esports, I think they're you know, still kind of not stuck in their ways, but just, you know, they still have their priorities, and that's fine. That's totally fine. So Fang, let's see. Ling, Xiaoyu, you gotta. I mean, again, I hate some of these characters, but you gotta Fang. You gotta have Fang. I'm gonna say I like the wrestlers, but I mean, for sure, you gotta have King. It's not a Tekken game if you don't have King. And then I'm gonna put Ogre and Ancient Ogre, and then Jinpachi. Like those bosses, like those are like fan service, you know, like Tekken Tag 2. Even, you know, what is it? Dr. Boskanovic. He's goofy as hell. I'm gonna say JC too, because JC is just like Michelle and Julia. Actually, that's another thing I need to get to too. Anna. You know what? Okay, Armor King is. I'm gonna say yes because they brought him back as DLC, which is, I don't know, just strange. Julia, yeah, you gotta have. And let's see what else. I'm gonna say you gotta have Lucky Chloe just for that goofy aspect of the game. And I'm gonna say unsure for Jun because she is Jin's mom, I think. Yeah, or Kazuya's wife, and she's dead. I mean, she's legitimately dead. Same with Kazumi. I don't even know if Kazumi. They're dead. I mean, this is kind of like the dead tier too. Which I guess, I mean, I think Bake is dead as well. Yeah. We need Jack. Jack, that's the running joke with him. It's just Jack 1, 2, 3 to 8. So, you know, you gotta. Miguel. Miguel, like, I don't really know. Miguel's only been in the game since Tekken 6. So I think he's still kind of like fresh-ish. Same thing with Zafina. It's just like he has nothing to do with the story. She has something to do with Azazel, but like I think Azazel is kind of done. You know, Gonryu, I don't know. Like in terms of like people asking for him, like Anna, I mean, maybe. Michelle, Michelle is just that. So let me explain that. Okay, so like Michelle. So Julia, it's weird because like you got the clone characters, right? But then you got Julia, and then you got Michelle, and then you got JC, who are all like basically the same character. Like one's like the mom, but like another one, it's like it's a wrestler, but they still have like kind of the same moveset, you know? So I don't really know. And the same thing can be said about just if you look down here, I'm not gonna put it in the list thing because I don't know. But you got Bruce, and then you got Josie, and then you got Falkenraum. These are basically the same thing. Just kickboxing and, you know, Muay Thai or whatever it is. And, you know, I mean, the game launched with, like, Josie, and she was a replacement of Bruce. And then Falkenraum came out, and he's basically just, like, a mix of these two. And it's just, like, fluff. When does it become a new idea, and when does it become fluff? I'm not a game developer, obviously, so I am the gamer. I can be a little biased and my opinion can be trash, but, you know, like, I'd say I'm making decent points. So I don't know. I mean, I don't give a shit about Falkenraum. I think Falkenraum and Leroy, they just totally ruined Season 3, Tekken 7. They just totally ruined online, and just, no. Same with Lydia. I don't really think... I think a lot of the DLC in Tekken 7, you know, that was like Negan, Lydia, I think, you know, they kinda... I think it's dumb. I'd say Raven has like something to do with the... No, I don't know what he has to do with the story. He has to do with the story, but I don't know. I'm gonna just say unsure for Josie and Bruce. Kunimitsu, yeah, I'd say fan service. I know they have a crowd. Claudio, nah. I'm a little biased. I do like Katarina, but all her lore is like with Gigas, and it's just them two. So I don't know. I'm gonna say unsure. Wong Jinrei, he is, I think, Xiao Yu's grandfather, but I don't think he really has much of a story or involved to him. So I'm gonna say unsure. Aorong, you gotta have Aorong. I fucking hate that character, but you gotta have Paul. You gotta have Lei. I put Eddie up here. I didn't put Eddie up here. I put Eddie up here. Like, these are like what make this is basically like the isn't Tekken without this character tier too as well. Leo, Not sure. Again, I'm gonna probably edit this stuff. Armor King. I'm gonna say yeah. And if I have all three of the wrestlers here, I gotta have Julia up here as well. That's just my opinion. You gotta have Law. You got every single fighting game has to have like a, you know, Bruce Lee Kung Fu master character, and that's martial law. Unknown is basically just Jun possessed or like whatever, and that goes back all the way to like Tekken Tag 1. So I think that's kind of just in the same tier. And I'm going off of characters that were like playable. I know there's like some asterisk characters, but I'm not including those. Steve, you gotta have Steve. You gotta have the boxer. Lily, she is in the story. And I think she's a mainstay character. Dragunov, yeah. Shaheen. I don't really know much of a crowd that he got. Nina, for sure. Brian, for sure. And then you can ignore that, Akuma. So let's just take a look at this for right now. So for story, God, I could have picked better thumbnails. I apologize. Yeah, I mean, again, not definitive, and I would love to know your guys' opinion, whether you agree with me or you don't. I'll share this around like my little circles and just see what people think. And you know, maybe I stream on Twitch. Link is going to be in the description, maybe above me, maybe not. I'm still learning the whole editing thing. But you know, I'd say this is like a good start. So the story ended off as, you know, like Kazuya like finally threw Heihachi into the fire or into the lava, so he's dead. So that's why I'm unsure on him, but I mean, he technically can be story. Basically the story, it's gonna revolve around, the story of Tekken 8 will revolve around Jin and Devil Jin. Lars and Elisa. Elisa is like there with Jin at the end, I'm pretty sure. Spoilers, but the game's been out for almost 7 years, basically. Elisa was there, and Elisa goes hand in hand with Lars. And Lee made Elisa basically, or like runs the company that makes Elisa and the Tekken Force. I think G-Force or whatever, Zaibatsu, whatever. I'm getting that wrong, and you can make the argument that if I'm gonna include these people, I should include Dr. Boskanovic, but you know, it's just, this character was only in a Tekken Tag 1 or a Tekken Tag game, technically in Tekken 3, but in terms of like gameplay, you know, he was just kind of like goofy. So you know, there's that, and then must stay. Let's take a look at these. I'd say, for sure Yoshimitsu, for sure Kuma. I'd say, let me like move these guys. And I'm gonna actually move Lucky Chloe to could stay. These are the ones at the far end here, are my opinion. Yeah, I'd say these are kind of iffy. But you need Yoshimitsu, you need that animal, you need Xiao Yu, you need Fang, you need the wrestler, you need the whatever Julia is, you got the robot, because he's got the names, he's going to be Jack 8, or just Jack 7 with Tekken Tag 8, or Tekken Tag 3, whatever it is. You need Haorong, you need the kicker, you need Paul, you need Lei, the fucking weirdo, you need the capoeira, you need the kung fu master, you need the boxer, you need actually, I'm gonna put her too, because they kind of have the same appeal, and they have lore together too. You need Dragunov, you need Nina, Brian, and then these are kind of like my picks, but you know, they've been in main games, you know, multiple times in a row. Not JC, but Marduk has. I mean, he was in Tekken 4, 5, 6, and then DLC in 7. Same thing with Armor King, and also Roger Jr. So maybe this will be kind of the change. Maybe rock the boat. Anna, Raven, and Lucky Chloe, I don't really know. I know Anna has the crowd. Raven has something to do with the story, but I don't know if that's like kind of past. Like, you know, I feel like he's in the same boat as Zafina, where what is it, like, you know, they had their part in like Tekken 6, and now it's like, all right, well, that's kind of past. So possibly, I don't know. And then Lucky Chloe was kind of like that joke character, but I think it's kind of become the cult classic. That's not the word, but you know, just the kind of attention grabber or whatever. I could care less for any of these. I really could care less. I think they made an impact, but I think they made more of a negative impact than a positive impact. If I'm playing ranked, if I'm playing ranked, or if I'm just playing against somebody in the other room, and my opponent is picking those characters, I want to slap them and tell them to play a different character. I really do not care for them. So, and then unsure, again, these are all, I'd say a lot of these are like just because of the story, but also just kind of like weird in concept. You know, maybe Katarina would stand above, and just in terms of story, these four could kind of be moved up, but they're dead. Like, they are dead. These four are dead. So, you know, Miguel, I think Miguel is kind of wild card. Zafina, same thing with like story. But and the only reason I change it is because Master Raven, or Raven, has some, I think, more pull in the story. Ganryu, you know, Josie and Bruce, I don't know. And I will say too that like with I'll get to it more with this, but like with the clone characters, like if you're gonna bring back the character, bring the original character back. You know, like if you're gonna have Bruce, it's gonna be Bruce. It's not gonna be Josie. It's not gonna be Fuckamrom. If you're gonna have Haorong, you're gonna have Haorong. You're not gonna have Bake. You're not gonna have one like over the other, if that makes sense. Wong and Leo. It's just in terms of story, I don't really know. And in terms of competitive, I mean, I know Wong was like a monster in Tekken Tag 2, but you know, I don't know. And then again, this is the Tekken Tag 2, 3, Tekken Tag 3 tier. This can be Tekken Tag 3 gets announced, all of these characters could get in easy. They're just clones of other characters. Angel, clone of Devil Jin. Sebastian, clone of Lily. Bake Dusan, clone of Haorong. Clone of Eddie. Tiger. Alex Jr. or Alex, yeah, Alex is a clone of Roger Jr. Prototype Jack, clone of Jack. Gigas, clone of Marduk. Forest Law, clone of Martial Law. Slim Bob, clone of Bob. Miharu, clone of Xiaoyu. Violet, clone of Lee. Christy, clone of Eddie, and I don't even know which one came first. Obviously, like one clone came before the other, but I can't even tell. Master Raven is literally just Raven. Panda is literally Kuma. Ancient Ogre. These ones are different. So they're their own characters, but like, you know, these are boss characters, so it's kind of like, you know, they have little. These two have moves from like all the other characters, not all the other characters, but you know, from a lot of the other characters, and you know, and then it's terms of you know, shenanigans, and I mean, Jinpachi is part of the story. These three are all part of the story, but I mean, that was like long ago. So Dr. Boskanovic, I just said in terms of you know, the story, he could, but again, he's kind of a goofball. So, and then Michelle Chang, I don't really know in terms of clone. Kunimitsu, I'd say it's more fan service, and I thought I'd have more DLC, but I think if anything could be DLC, maybe it could be like a launch DLC, you know, like, oh, you know, Aliza, like what Aliza was. Possibly Mokujin, I mean, that's something pretty easy, I'd say. Yeah, and then these are the 2D characters. I really don't think they need to come back. These could, you know, these guys could even go in here. And again, opinion, but I've heard more bad things about 2D characters than I've heard about, you know, what is it, 3D characters. So, or about more bad than good, you know, just like, what does that say? Yeah, looking at it up and down, I'd say that's about my opinion. Let me know if you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you have any. I highly doubt anybody is going to have the same, you know, kind of tier list as this. So just let me know what you guys have in mind, and yeah, I appreciate you guys watching.